Hey everyone, welcome to the Hobbystreakers, episode 18, I believe.
Yes.
As always, my co-host Liam.
Hello. That's me.
How you doing, Liam? Better?
I'm better.
Today, Liam is on 1,559 days of Hobby Streak. I am on 391 days of Hobby Streak.
Not 1560.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Well, because I thought 14 from last time. But anyways. What is the Hobby Streak? Well, every night every day, usually at night, but you can do it in the morning. Every day you try to do 30 minutes of hobby. Anything from building miniatures, to building terrain, to painting miniatures, to doing boards, to some people do lists, some people plan RPGs, some people play RPGs, play games, and so on and so forth. So basically something hobby related that will be 30 minutes. Today I will be painting this troll from Yasashi. I've talked about him before. Love his sculpt. He's got a Patreon and he's got all his miniatures are free online if you want to support them yourself. So what are you gonna paint today? Terrain again?
Still working on
terrain.
the terrain stuff.
Alright,
This is my on-the-show project at the moment.
Okay, well. So, what's new with you? What happened? Dude, come on.
Pretty much, like, the day after we recorded the last episode, I got a message from the event organisers going, somebody got COVID. Test yourselves, keep an eye out, watch out, be safe.
Yeah.
And I was fine until that evening when I wasn't. And then I tested myself the following morning. I tested myself a second time the following morning. And then I tested positive and had to lock myself away in my room for... It was 9 days in the end.
Okay.
So... yeah.
That sucks. Well, yeah, so for people who might be listening to this in the future, yeah, still COVID. Still there. Probably still there where you're at as well. Because I doubt it's going to be gone by, anytime soon, so... Yeah. So we're still dealing with COVID. Right now, it's Omicron, I guess. It's the main one still. Not too sure. It is, however, kind of super contagious, so a lot more people are getting it. Usually getting a little bit less sick. I did get it last week. My son got it, and then, I could not just do what you did, which is put my son in a room and not talk to him for 9 days. And by the time he got tested and everything, it was already too late. So we all got sick to various degrees from what you told me, and you can corroborate, but it seems that you still got sick. Yeah. So again, it depends on the people, but this is life now. So yeah. Well, glad you're doing better.
Yeah. So if I have to cut my sound to cough my guts up...
Oh, you can cough. It's okay. I'll cut it. Post-production. It's no worries.
I'll give JJ some extra work to do then.
No worries. Yeah, no, well, glad you're, glad you're feeling better, and, it's a thing. It's still a thing, and it's still gonna be a thing.
didn't take me long till I felt better in myself. I was just still like infectious or whatever.
Oh no, yeah, that definitely, like, that is what I was saying. Like my kids, they've been sicker with the regular cold than with what they got COVID last time. So again, really happy. Considering everything else, well, no, happy would I be like super happy would be not getting it at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it again, catching it and getting that very little sick. I felt shoes. I felt happy about it, and yeah, so maybe grab my paintbrush that's on the floor. So, anyways, yeah. Thank you everyone for subscribing. We are up to 84 subscribers now. Woohoo! Yeah, so we're doing great. One day we'll reach 100, I'm sure. It'll happen. So why am I putting things on this that actually doesn't show? Is my glaze...
You're a fool to yourself.
Is my glaze that thin that it actually not... Huh. Anyways. Yeah, so... Yeah, not much from my side. Well, I don't know if my sister will be listening to this, but she ended up in the hospital.
Oh no.
Well, let's just say it's ongoing and it's not going away. So it's not COVID related, but I would rather it be COVID related. Let's just put it that way. So yeah. If you're listening, sis, which I'm pretty sure she doesn't because it's not in our wheelhouse, but yeah, hope you get out soon and feel better soon. So yeah, yeah. All right, let's do our shout out. Unless you have anything else, I mean, it's just been so I follow Formula One. If you've seen my profile. On Twitter, and they've been launching cars lately. Like every other day, well, every day almost, you have a car launch. We had 2-3 last week, another 2 like yesterday, another one yesterday, another one today. There's 2 more by the end of the week. So yeah, it's the beginning of a new season. So
a couple of my friends follow F1, so
yeah, I'm really looking forward to 2022.
They're getting excited about that, and I'm like, yay, cool.
Yeah.
Can't go fast.
Yeah. Like, I don't... So, this morning, yesterday, I saw something online, and they were talking about the Super Bowl, and I'm like, why are they talking about the Super Bowl? And then I realized that the Super Bowl was Sunday.
Yep.
That's how much I follow sport. I just don't really give a... I'm not... Yeah. I didn't really care.
We pay attention to the Super Bowl because that's where the trailers live.
Well, even that, like, yeah. And then, I know what it was. It's like, the ops manager at my job sent an email, and she's like, yeah, I know we all enjoyed, like, the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? Was that this weekend? Huh. And then I checked, and I still don't know who freaking played, but that's, just because I just, again, don't really care. No offense to people that follow. Yeah, it's fine. You do you. But yeah, it's not something that really interests me. So, like I said, the only thing that I'm actually like following and the only sports that I actually follow and watch on TV is Formula One. That's it. And that's because I used to, a long time ago in another life, used to do aerodynamics. So Formula One car is still something that really interests me into what they can do with the cars and the aerodynamics and all this. So yeah. So That's why. But yeah, it was just weird. Like the whole, like the real, like the funny thing with the Super Bowl, because I was like, what Super, really? Like, really? Come on, no, you're joking. Like, I didn't see it anywhere that they were talking about it, or like advertising it or anything like this. I was like, huh, okay. Next time I might just want to keep an eye on, just to because I think like people are talking about it, and they talked about the halftime and all this, and I was like, I haven't seen shit from it, so yep. But it's not something that. But yeah, we had people over, which was weird, because we've been trying to get together for, like almost a month now. Because then, last week was the week before. So 2 weeks ago, my kids were sick. And the week before that, they had COVID. And then last week, one of the kids was sick, not COVID. And then I was like, holy schmoly. It's like, it's been like, we've been trying to get together, and it's always been like either someone was sick, basically, in the family, in either our family or their family. So it was like, okay. And then finally this weekend we managed to all get together because we were not sick anymore. Yay! Like,
yay!
It's just crazy. Yeah, it was just nuts. But yeah, so that's another thing that we did. So now, when you do the karate, do you do it with the mask or?
Not normally, no.
So that means that you went to teach karate. Did you contaminate anybody? Do you know?
So I had to let all the students that I was in close contact with know.
Oh, yeah.
And then nobody's come back to me
saying you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, again, like that's it. It's the time we live in. Is it getting better for you guys too? Because it's getting better here.
I've not looked.
Like, the numbers are dropping like crazy now because basically, and this is what they were talking about, like 60% of the people were gonna catch it anyway, so. Now it's like, hey, everybody who was supposed to pretty much catch it, caught it, and now the numbers are dropping because everybody's got some kind of, not full immunity, but between the vaccine and catching it, and it was like, it's a herd immunity, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So we're all doing well. It's making things better, hopefully. So yeah. All right. Well, let's do our shout out. Who do you have for our shout out on Instagram?
So we have Silthorn_hobby, who's made it to a full year.
We should do that.
Get the sound effects. Get the air
horn. Yeah,
do it in
air
post.
horn going every
do it in
time.
Post. Fire_Ruffles at 500 days. Personalpocketdimensions at 500 days. Jtminiatures at 200 days. Mr. Andysmithgames at 400 days, who's doing Demon Primarch Magnus the Red at the moment, which is relevant to my interests.
Cool.
And then there's a small account that you might have heard of, maybe not. Dana_How.
Yeah.
1,100 days.
Yeah. So yeah. Nice.
Dana's well and truly in the 1K now. Jadamviklund, 400 days. And aside from the milestone shout-outs, got DatX Diver, who just want to shout out because they're doing a 28mm scale Warlord Titan, and they're freehanding all the armor panels.
Ooh, shit.
With
nice.
Like some
really
insane, like intricate, like ceramic style painting.
Yeah, I cannot do freehand. I suck at freehand. So
you
just say freehand and already I'm like, holy shit. that's way more than I can do. Well,
and
I should maybe
the
try.
Throwin Dice Podcast lads, because they shouted me out on their last 2 episodes. So
Oh, I haven't
returned the favour, guys.
I have to say I haven't listened to the last one yet. So.
Well, I had some spare time the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
It's like, I can catch up on my friends' podcasts.
No, well, cool.
So,
well,
I caught up with those.
I have. Let's see.
Curtis and Grant said some nice things about my army that I took to the event. And
well, cool. Oh yeah, because they did one on the event, right? That's what they. Yeah. Cool.
Their episode 2, they talked about the event that I was at with them.
Cool.
A couple of weeks back.
Nice. Well, so I have Jojo Miniatures 100 days. I got Phailhaus paints, which I believe you know him too.
Yes.
There's
a lot of people on your list who were on my list,
yeah,
who I took off of my list because you put it there first.
Well, you could have taken out of my list, and he was like, it's same difference. So he's on 1 year. Korlith Zaan is on 2 years, and it's like I'm watching for the 730.
Yeah,
it's like he's
doing some turnip stuff at the moment. Really
it's got some nice stuff going. Yeah, it's not like I like grimdark, but to a certain extent, like I wouldn't like probably. The Silver Bayonet is as much dark as I would go, like, which is considered horror, not grimdark.
Yeah.
But yeah, grimdark is not something that it really like. It's just not an aesthetic that appeals to me. But he's doing some really cool stuff, and I think there's some really cool. Turnip 28. There's some really good stuff. Like some people are doing some really cool stuff with the minis and the conversion and everything. So I think those are really cool. It doesn't matter.
Nice it's nice to keep an eye on, even if it isn't your jam.
And again, like you don't have to.
It's just nice to look at.
Yeah, and again, you don't have to. It's not because it's not something that you would paint yourself that you cannot appreciate, like the work that goes into building an army. That like the aesthetic, and sticking to really looking like it belongs to that word, and it's something that. Again, it appeals to me in a technical side, not
from the artistic side rather than the actual the aesthetic.
Than the actual like lore or anything like this. Might not, it's the same thing. Like Nurgle, I hate Nurgles. Like I find them disgusting, and I don't. It's not something that I would put on the table or paint myself. That say, man, there's some paint jobs that are freaking awesome. Like, when you look at a paint job and you go, oh, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit, that means it's a good paint job for Nurgle. Yep. Really, like, if you're disturbed...
It's like, great, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's like, you're disturbed by the thing, it's a great paint job. Because that's supposed to be the case. Anyway, we digress. So, Chris Vizarious, 100 days. Douglaskmeyer, 400 days. Beerholder, barbecue, and hobbies, 500 days. I like it. He's always pretty good at, like, he leaves comments and stuff. He's well into the hobby as well. Droid Workshop, Punk, 400 days. ChiefNurgling
Workshop UK.
Yeah, UK.
Workshop UK.
Yep, Workshop UK. Yep, sorry. ChiefNurgling, 400 days. SimonSaysMakePaintPlay, 400 days. douglaskmeyer, 100 days. Alex in Wonderland, 100 days. Santiago Close, 1 year. Also pretty good at, he's been interacting a lot, or she. I have no idea. I don't look at people's things, so I know they are good in the hobby as well. They tend to be pretty active, so thank you for that. And Cat at KitKat0320, 200 days. And we are doing a special shout out to SQUAREWAVE. because, and again I'm gonna say they because I am just so 597 days and they stopped, and that kind of sucked because like I'm sure they were looking to get to, like she was looking, I think she. But anyways, awesome 3D prints, always beautiful 3D prints, and some nice project and everything. Too bad, almost 600 days, but already back posting and stuff, and so yeah, it really appreciative of the work, the involvement in the community, just great. So yeah, special shout out SquareWave. Lots of advice when I was having issues with my printers. So yeah, always nice to have people like this in the community. So kudos on the 597. That's an awesome score, and yeah, hope they'll do you'll start making again some post and start a new streak and get to 600. But and so that's our shout out.
The whole thing is like beat your previous score.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Just it's hard to do when you get to a high number and then stop. So.
Oh no, yeah. Like blessings, like she's gonna have a hard time going over the 600 for sure. Like that's gonna be. Yeah. So what have you done in 2 weeks?
Oh.
Well, because you didn't I understand that you didn't do much because you were sick, but on the other hand, you were home and you had nothing to do. So
yeah, I was like, great. While I'm off, I'll take advantage and I'll get some stuff done. And then I realised that actually
you felt like
I like. It wasn't so much that, it was that I like sitting down and doing some painting
after a long day of work and something, right?
As not even necessarily that, but as a break to everything else that I've been doing in that day.
Yeah.
So I got to the point where I was picking at bits for a couple of hours, and then I'd go do something. Well, not really go do something else, but I'd watch something on YouTube or Warhammer Plus or Disney Plus, or I'd go on my Xbox for a couple of hours, and then I'd get bored of that, and then I'd come back to doing some painting, and then I'd go back to flip-flop.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't really do, like, some proper, deep dive into it hobby time, but I still got a fair bit done, which is nice.
Cool.
So I got a Night Judicator with Gryph-hounds done from start to finish. That was the first thing I'm pretty sure I finished that even like my first or second day of isolation.
Nice.
So I started that after the day after the podcast. We recorded the podcast last week, or not last week before, whenever.
2 weeks ago, yep.
Yeah. I built. Where is it? This. Yeah, big.
Oh yeah, I saw the picture. Yep.
And it's great.
So what is that for? Is that for Horus Heresy?
Yeah.
Cool.
So the guns on the sides sponson. Sponsons articulate in both the X and Y dimension.
Cool.
So there's a little clip in the barrel of the sponsons there.
Oh, so you don't glue, you just clip it and you glue the rest?
So there's half the sponson barrel, which has got 2 little pins in, and you lay the guns on the pins, and then there's a bar that connects the 2 cannons, so that you can flick them up and down.
Cool.
And there's the same thing for the assault ramp on the front, so you can open and close the front ramp, which is nice.
Yeah.
And the plastic kit the full plastic kit for this has like a similar thing with the heavy bolters on the front, but the resin kit doesn't. So there's so you can see there that there's two different shades of grey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the lighter stuff's the resin, the darker stuff's like the
So is it a conversion kit in resin, or is it just a mix of materials?
It's a conversion / upgrade kit for the normal plastic Land Raider.
Okay.
So this is the quote unquote Heresy era Land Raider. So there's like a more resin one that doesn't have an assault ramp on the front.
Okay.
But this is going to be for my Blader Cult, who are assault troops. So they want an assault ramp to come out the front.
Yep.
So that they can debust directly into hitting people in the face with swords.
Alright. Cool.
So that. And then I did... Oops. This lad, who's a fancy psychic dreadnought.
Okay.
With a big psychic sword.
Okay.
For him, I need to get a gun arm for the other arm, because the way that they do these is the shoulder bit there on this side. It's got a little bit there, and then just under that shoulder is where you magnetize them if you're magnetizing them. So I need to do that so that I can get all the guns from the other contemptors that I've got magnetized onto that, so I don't have to get lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of guns for it. So yeah. Built and started painting this guy. It's a Heresy era apothecary. He's going to go with my Thousand Sons as well, just because I can.
Cool.
Yeah. The apothecaries come in a clan pack with like a Mark III and a Mark IV armor apothecary.
Okay.
And all my Iron Warriors are in Mark III armor, so I got the Mark. Got that for them. And the Mark III guy is painted up with my Iron Warriors. So I just had the Mark IV laying around, and all my Thousand Sons are in Mark IV armor. So I was like, I could just cheekily build him up and paint him up, and then I've got one if I need one.
Cool.
After I built him, I built and paint. I had 2 fulminators sitting in my built and primed but thus far untouched box. So I painted both of those. And then the other day, once I got the all clear that I was okay to leave the house, I got my mojo back, and I started painting these 2 squads of Vanguard Hunters that you can probably see on my hand cam here. I started painting the Apothecary, and I started painting the... what was she? She was Warhammer Day?
Oh, yeah. The
Vampire lady.
Yeah.
And I'm having a lot of fun painting her at the moment, actually.
Cool.
So, that's nice.
Yeah. Alright.
Never thought I'd be somebody who painted single character models just for the funsies, but apparently I am, so...
I don't know, is it snowing in the UK right now? Because you
No, but it did rain all day and I got very wet.
Because you're doing something you're not supposed to do every time. It's like, here it's is it snowing? But yeah, alright, cool. Well,
yes, I got a fair bit done without meaning to get a fair bit done.
Cool. Definitely sounds like it, yeah.
So
Nice.
I would like to also shout out my immune system for not getting me too bad with the COVIDs.
Yep.
Well done to my immune system and 3 Pfizer jabs.
Yep.
So
That's what I was gonna say too. Yeah, that helps. But yeah, cool. Well, anything else? That was already quite a lot, but
that
just
that was. It's like, oh, I know I was sat here going, I didn't actually do that much, but it was like,
and then when you start putting it down on paper, you're like, what
Liam,
Jeez.
you painted what, 2, 4, 5 models to completion, built 3,
Yeah.
and are most of the way through a single character model that you're taking your time on to make it look good.
Yeah, that's
Shut your face. You did a fair bit.
Yeah, that's more than some people doing like a year. So.
Yeah.
So again, good job, awesome. Well, yeah. So, yeah, cool. Well,
and yourself, you've got quite a fair bit of stuff done.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then there's like, I mean, all right. So, I finished my whole unit of French for the silver bayonet. All of them, including the bases. They are absolutely done.
Get that air horn sound out again.
Yeah. There is nothing else to do. They are completely done, and so yeah, really happy about it.
Have you varnished them?
I have not, and
They are metal miniatures, my friend.
Yeah.
You're going to want to varnish them because the second you pick them up and put them next to each other, they'll touch each other and all the paint will fall off.
Yeah, I need to. Well, I can do it with the airbrush. It's pretty straightforward, so
yeah,
I will do that definitely. So and then I did Mr. Ogre, which is actually gonna be a troll. So I'm doing another troll right now, which is gonna be another troll, a different troll kind of thing. So yeah, I continued on the board. So my board now is fully sealed. Sculpt them all for the rocks and everything, and then Mod Podge with paint in it for the rest of the foam. Now, what I need to do is get some plywood so that I can go around the perimeter of the board and have something that looks nice and neat. So I don't want to start putting the gravel and everything on it, because right now I just need to make sure that I just finish, that the edge is clean so that I can. So what I'm probably gonna do is make the edge clean, and then put some Sculptamol around the edge to make sure like that the hole is nice and straight and not completely. Some places there's like foam missing and things like this that I'm gonna have to take care of. So that's kind of where I am at right now. I need to just go get some plywood, super thin plywood, and make the. I don't know if I'm gonna make the bottom of it. I think I'm just gonna make the edges. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at right now. Other than that, what did I do? Worked a lot on the secret project, which
I haven't had a chance to look at that yet.
Yeah, I'm up to like 35 pages.
Nice.
And like I keep putting stuff in, removing stuff, streamlining, changing dice rolls and things like this. And so yeah, I'm super happy. I'm starting looking at models that I want to buy. Most probably they're gonna be a lot of like 3D printed models. and I think I found one place where I could get pretty much everything that I need. So I would not have to have multiple models from multiple, like sculptor or anything like this. So yeah, we'll see, but I'm starting to look at that already, and I need to start doing some play testing on some of the stuff that I've done, because in my head, and while playing in my head rounds and stuff, and measuring in my head, it makes sense. But visualizing basically in 3D and all this makes sense, but I don't know in real life if it's gonna work or not. Like, I even made this thing, which is my little, like a ruler kind of thing, because I wanted to have something where I could go back and forth quickly. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how many hours I spent writing on, but it's been taking a lot of my time. I think I pretty much do between 1 and 2 hours per day is what I've done lately. Like, but to the point where I could write 3 pages in 3 hours, or I could write nothing in 3 hours and actually remove stuff and, like, go back to some table and change some numbers and, like, update some characteristics and things like this, and just, like, being back and forth. So yeah, it's I'm enjoying the process. It's super interesting, and yeah, it's been great. And the people that came to visit this weekend, so we talked about this a little bit, and something that we did not know, the guy wrote a book. And so yeah, so fantasy so fantasy book, looks pretty cool. I've not bought it yet because I'm still trying to figure out how my Amazon account works with my wife's. So that's a pain, because the Kindles, you're supposed to be able to share Kindles and stuff if you have one account for family and something. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure that shit out. So yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at right now, is just trying to figure out. But definitely I'll put the link below. And yeah, it sounds super cool, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. And it's probably gonna be the next book that I read to one of my kids, because that's what usually that's the only time that I have time to read, is when I put them to sleep. So yeah, so that took me a good chunk of time. And so yeah, other than that, yeah, I made a donut, which apparently you have to go through that when you start with Blender. So we can move on to what we tried. And I tried Blender. So if you're not familiar with 3D software, Blender is what they use to make animation. Like, a lot of people use it to do animations, and a lot of people use it to sculpt things. For example, Corvus Game Terrain, which I've talked a lot in this podcast because I love his stuff. I know he sculpts everything in Blender. I don't know what Yasashi uses. I think it looks like he's using ZBrush. But again, like, if you have money, you can buy ZBrush. If you want something free, then you get Blender, because Blender is free. So yeah, so I started using Blender, did a tutorial for making a donut, made the donut. Okay, so now I know kind of how to use the main functions of Blender. And yeah, still don't like the software. I want to try to sculpt some stuff with it. I still don't know how that's gonna go, so yeah. But we'll see. I'm open. I'm open to
The first step at
yeah.
being good at something is sucking at it. So.
No, and it's not that. It's just that I use Fusion, and I can do stuff in Fusion because Fusion is CAD, and it's like engineering design, and that's fine. That talks to me, and that makes sense to me. Organic shapes and things like this don't make sense to me. So it's really hard for me to sculpt something that, yeah, that I cannot just go and be like, okay, I want this to be this length, this width, this radius, this blah blah blah, and then like extrude it and do this and do that. Like that's completely different. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's limiting me because I'm not saying I'm lost, but yeah, it just doesn't make.
There's a switch that hasn't toggled in your brain yet.
And I've never been artistic at all. Like I cannot draw. You give me a piece of paper and I can. If I have a ruler, then I'll draw something because it's gonna be design, mechanical shapes and mechanical things. That works for me. But as soon as you have to do designs and things that are rounded and blah 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 and all, it just Again, I managed to do a donut. I was pretty happy. I need to find some other tutorials and works, and start working on designing things because I want to design some stuff maybe for the game. So yeah. I've already designed markers and stuff because those I can do with Fusion, so that's super easy. But yeah, the rest is just still not there yet. But so yeah, that's pretty much what I tried. What did you try except for COVID?
I have been
when I saw you put COVID on this, I was like, yep, that was nice.
Can't take yourself seriously.
Huh? No, yeah.
I can't take myself seriously.
No, well, it's better to, again, it's better to laugh about it than, having someone end up in the hospital and everything. And again, we're not making fun of, people having COVID again.
I'm making fun of me having COVID.
I know a few people that lost some of their relatives to COVID, and I think I don't think there is one person who doesn't at this stage in COVID. So again, it sucks. We're just trying to make light of it because it helps us. I think it helps us cope better as well. So yeah, do not take us too seriously, and do believe that yes, we know what people are going through. Some people are really sick and everything, and so yeah. Yep, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry for the tension, but yeah.
Still can't quite breathe properly, so I'm not all the way out of it yet, but I'm
getting there.
Well enough.
Yeah.
So.
And that's good. That's good to hear.
I've been making some glazes.
You're sure it's not snowing there? Dude, man, what the hell?
Layered glazes.
Jesus, what the hell is
on vampire ladies.
What's wrong with you, man?
And I mean, I don't mean to sound like I'm coming across all arty-farty. I mean, I'm getting some shade paints and I'm thinning them down with medium.
Wow.
So
yeah. No.
So you know how I've got my yogurt pot.
Yeah.
The other half of the yogurt pot is where I mix.
So still no wet palette, huh? You'll get there. Get there. All right, question.
Technological marvels of a wet palette when you can just cut a yogurt pot in half.
All right, look at this guy. So is elvish flesh color with highlights in dead tone and recesses in gray. He's got rocks on his back. Well, stuff sticking out. What color do I make those?
Sandstone.
like this khaki kind of thing. That works, yeah. Cool. Thank you. Sorry. So okay. So glazes. All right. Well, so are you?
So
what? So we're not talking contrast paint. You're actually making
no
out of opaque paints actual glazes.
Mm,
Yes, no. Close enough.
shade paints.
Okay, I have no idea what the difference is between. Like, I don't use Citadel, so please explain.
You know what Agrax, Earthshade, and Nuln Oil are?
They're washes. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Technically, yeah. Well, yeah.
So I'm getting some of those in different colours.
Okay.
Specifically, in this case, the violet and green.
Okay.
And thinning them down with the old Lamia medium.
Okay.
And so, where's my camera? Where's my camera? That one. So, show you guys at home before I show JG. The skin, I've got rack off flesh with what was it? It was a 1-to-4 mix of green shade and medium on her skin, so she's got a nice unhealthy green tinge to her.
Okay.
And the red armor, I did layers, so the whole thing is... Oh, I've lost my camera again. Whole thing is Druchii Violet and Lamia Medium 1-to-1. So I did the whole thing over a corn red base coat. So that's like the dark red.
Cool.
And then let that dry. And then did another one layer of that 2/3 up the back. So I'll show you now.
Yeah, you're really enjoying
and then
painting
down
that
the back.
one, huh?
And then another one, a third layer, a third of the way up or a third of the way down on that. So
nice. Well, that's great, man.
So she's just
very cool.
On her armor, got some highlights. Gonna do some highlights, and then the armor will be done. And then I'm going to do the robe / boot and like the jewellery, accoutrement, and little baby dragon.
Alright.
And I'm going to try really, 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 really hard to not go off the dragon and onto all the bits I've already painted.
Oh, yep. That's tricky. Oh, cool.
And she's also got 2 really, really tiny eyes and really, really tiny fangs on her face. So I will channel my inner steady-handed painter and try not to get the shakes too much when I do that, because that'll suck.
Yeah, that's still not easy.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not hard to do even when you don't have a tremor. So,
like even with this is why I have with the glasses. Like it's not those glasses, but my magnifying glasses. I mean, sometimes I'm like, how am I gonna how are people able to paint those without using? Because I mean, it's just it's so tiny, and you don't want to go over and all this. So yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. I'm glad you're enjoying painting, which, tell yourself 1,500 and something days ago that you would enjoy painting.
Yeah.
You would have laughed at yourself, man.
Yeah.
Would have been like, yeah, right. Because that's how you spoke at the time.
Yeah, basically. That's exactly what I sounded like.
because you were like 10 years old.
Yeah. I've aged a lot in the past 1500 days.
1500 days.
Hyperbolic time chamber.
Oh, nice. That's a reference. Yeah, cool. Well, nice. Well, speaking of...
She's coming along nicely. She's coming along good. She's doing well.
Yeah, speaking of...
I'm happy with the progress.
Speaking of 1500 days, I need to blink. It's hurting my eyes. You started basically doing this because you wanted to paint your army, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of what we wanted to talk about today. Is should you have, when you start the hobby streak, should you have a plan? Like, should you have a goal? What do you want to do with your hobby streak for the next X amount of days that you're gonna be doing this, or months or years? Like, you've now crossed 4 years. So yeah, is it something that you should have? Like, is it something you should have from the start? You should be like, okay, I'm gonna start a hobby streak. I need a plan. I need to have, I want to do a 2000 armies of those guys, or I want to do a warband, or I want to have a full list of something. So is that something you should do? Or, you just start the hobby streak and whatever comes around, you just paint and do this. So yeah, what's your opinion? Do you think you should have?
Kind of.
Alright.
So, I think you should have an idea about why you're painting what you're painting, and what you want to get out of what you're painting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, this was a half-formed thought that started coming out of my mouth, and now it's stopped.
Well, no, but I mean, like, okay, talk about your experience. When you started.
Yeah.
This
so when I started,
it was really about like this is.
It was,
I need to do this, so let me start a hobby streak so I can paint and get this done.
Yeah. Yeah. So lots of people I know who don't do the streak will just sort of flip between projects. So that they get like the hobby butterfly syndrome.
Well, I still do, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I do as well. I mean, I've got literally 1, 2, 3, 4 different things on my desk at the moment.
But yeah, so you think
I know
that
what I want. I know what I want to use them for.
Yeah, and so you think that to start the hobby streak, you should have a plan. Because I mean, right now, if I was to ask you, do you like? It's evolved, right? Like you wanted to do one project, you did that project, then you continue the hobby streak, and not necessarily knowing what you were gonna do next, right?
No, exactly.
So it is a good reason and a good way to start is to have something like this where you're like, okay,
yeah,
I need to have this
goal.
army done within the next 6 months. I need to start cramming. Like, and the only way that I can do this...
a lot of people I know can only get armies done if they've got an event deadline that they want to take the army to.
Yeah, which makes sense, yeah. Well, yeah.
So it's kind of like doing a hobby streak, but without doing a hobby streak, in that they know that they need
to get this, to get
X amount of time to get this unit done, X amount of time to get this unit done, and they need to get it done by this date here. So that gives them a target to work towards. And it's something I get my students to do at karate. It's like, right, what do you want to get out of your training this year? Let me know so that I can plan lessons around that, so that I'm not just, going through the motions.
Yeah, no, yeah,
and
for
just
sure.
doing random things.
No, it's always nice to have a plan, yeah, for sure.
So, there's a couple of apps out there as well that let you track this kind of thing. So, I think two that come immediately to mind are Figure Case and Warganizer.
Okay.
So, they let you inventory all your stuff. So you can go, right, I've got this in box, I've got this assembled, this needs to be primed. This is primed, but I haven't started painting it. This I've painted, but I haven't based it.
Cool, yeah.
This is all finished.
I didn't know there was an app for that.
So you've got...
There's an app for that?
So there's an app for that. So you've got those kind of things, so you can... If your brain works that way, and you need everything like laid out, bullet pointed and stuff, there's stuff out there that you can plug your stuff into, and you can do that.
Cool.
Now,
a
lot of people will only be able to focus on one thing at a time. So some people will advise you only have one project on your desk at a time, because otherwise when you sit down to paint, you'll get analysis paralysis and you won't know what to pick up.
Yeah, sure.
So
that happens, yeah.
If you're one of those people, pick something, work your way through it, get it done, and clear your desk, and then pick something, and then work on that.
Yeah,
but know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because there are also people who I've seen who will go, ooh, that's new and shiny.
Yeah.
Buy a whole army.
And never paint it.
And they'll paint about 3 or 4 squads. And then 6 months later, they'll be like, oh, I'm selling all this stuff. Most of it's new in box. So.
Yeah. No, and like, okay, and this is kind of like, and this is what I was talking about last time. Is like, I've stopped getting the Marvel. So I received Juggernaut, Colossus, and Magic, X-23, and Honey Badger, and Gambit, and Rogue. I have them. I have not opened them, and I do not intend to open them, because they are my gauge to where I am with my painting and everything, in a way. Right. So this is why I'm like leaving them in the box. I'm like, yeah, let me see what I can get rid of before I open those. And so that's kind of like where I'm at right now. And this is why I'm like, okay, I need to stop getting Marvel, because I love painting the Marvels, don't get me wrong, and they're awesome models, and they are 6-10 hours jobs every time. So they are not something that I can do super quickly, and they are coming out too fast. And because I have a whole bunch of projects right now that I would like to finish, I figured, I'm like, alright, let me just stop, let me figure this out, and then I can see. And so, and this was kind of like the second, I don't think I had a project when I got into this. I mean, I was getting into into Marvel, and I was painting a lot of Marvel, and that basically was like, all right, let me try to see if I can paint a lot of them, and just, do the hobby streak, and definitely helped, and I painted quite a lot using that. I started because of that, because I wanted to paint as many Marvel as I could, but then things got out of hand. And then, like you said, the hobby butterfly effect, where I started What did I do with my brush? I started basically doing a whole bunch of other projects. One of which was Frostgrave, which I finished. Well, kind of. I still need to do the bestiary. And then the Silver Bayonet, which is what I'm doing now. It's going well. This is the thing. The Silver Bayonet, I have enough to play. Because I can play a solo campaign.
Yeah.
And I already have the first monsters, which are the wolf and the werewolf. And the next monsters are the Revenant, which are not out quite yet with what's the North Star military figure. So hopefully soon they'll release them, and I'll talk about this in the news anyway. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. That's what I want. Like, I want to be able to play. My son wants to play as well, so that's definitely something we can do. And so yeah, and then the board itself, again, don't need the board to start playing, so the board is another project that I have on the side and everything. But yeah, it's I think it's a good decision to stop the Marvel right now, because like I said, I wanna concentrate on finishing stuff. And the thing with Marvel is that it's never gonna be finished. Like, they'll keep releasing stuff.
How many characters are there in that IP?
Right now? Or total?
No, like in Marvel Comics.
30,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And then you got the versions and the things and the different books and all that. Yeah, you got like anywhere from like, yeah, some people are saying anywhere from
the what ifs and
30 to 50,000 characters. So yeah, it's ginormous. Like, there's no, they can go at it releasing 2 to 4 characters a month. Well, even a week for probably 100 years, and they still will not run out of character.
Yeah.
I mean, they can do multiple versions.
They will do that. It's making them a lot of money.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. And so this is what, like, I've kept the rival panels. The ones, you know, like the big diorama thing. So I've kept that one, and I am still looking forward to getting the one with Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man. So this one, I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, so that's definitely, I've kept this, and I really want to get those. And I want to get the next ones, because those are just, this is more like what I'm doing with it in a way, because it's diorama, it's painting, it's nothing to do with really the game itself, as far as like, oh, you get an alternate version of, like, an alternate pose of a character, but it's not even like, it's not a new character, it's an old character, so it's the same as the other one. So if you're playing the games and everything, it does not really matter. That character does not really matter which one it is. The card is the same. There is a foil version of the card, which is great. Again, if you play, does it matter to me? Absolutely not. And so yeah, so I think that me stopping right now, I'll probably pick the odd one here and there. Characters that I really like and I really want to paint.
Yeah.
But I think that's like, yeah, it was hard, and it's still, the FOMO is strong with this one.
Yeah.
Like, really freaking strong. But again, I think it's for the best, and like, because I have those, and again, like, because I have other plans, and I really want to finish Silver Bayonet, and I'm enjoying painting, and I enjoy painting those characters, not to a big level, but something that I can put on the table. I mean, I think my army looks nice, my unit, sorry, looks nice. It's only 8 characters. If I only did this, I probably would get them done in about a week. Because I think I can, well, in 8 days, like, I can paint one almost a day doing the hobby streak. It not 30 minutes, definitely not. But if I was like, if I have enough time to do about an hour a day, I think I could probably do that. If not, then probably I will have to be like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about painting guys in uniform as well, is by the time you get to like the 3rd or 4th one, you've got the method down and you can just blast through it quick.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they're because they're not a regular army. They all have their quirks and their things, but I've used the same paint scheme on them because they're all supposed to be French. So I've kind of did the blue, white, and red on all of them to a certain level at certain places. And I've, like, I think some of them have different blue. But I think that then after that I came to, like you said, I came to a paint scheme that basically Imperial blue, shocking for Imperial Napoleonian troops. It's like, hey, I wonder what blue I should use. And then as I'm looking at my Valero and it's like Imperial blue. And I'm like, really? You could not just say that right from the start? Like, okay, this, yeah.
Paint your French guys this color.
Yeah, basically. And then and then the highlight magic blue because it's just for the very high highlight. So yeah, it's basically what I've been doing. So that's been my my paint scheme lately. Is be like, hey, that's super easy to do. That works for me, and so yeah.
So yeah, like when I say have a plan, have goals, it's doesn't necessarily have to be I want to get this army done for this point. It can just be I want to get these models that I'm currently painting done to this standard or that standard, display standard, army standard, battle ready, display ready, whatever.
No, for sure, yeah. And again, like, I think that if you start, because again, you are gonna get to the point where you've been, which is, okay, I started because I wanted to do this army. This army is done. Now what? Oh,
now I've got all these other models that are sat here not gathering dust and unpainted. I should probably get them done.
And then you go to the next one, and to the next one, and to the next one. And also, we go back to what we were talking about way back in some of the first episodes. You're tired of painting. You're like, okay, I need to build something. And you're going to start building, and you're going to be like, oh, hey, I forgot I had those guys. Let me build those guys. And then the next time that you have, you're running out of things to paint, you're going to be like, oh, I built those guys, 2 months ago.
It's like,
let me paint those guys. And it's a...
Last week, while I was isolating, I was like, right, I've spent all day painting this Knight Judicator and these Griffhounds. And then I've sat down the next day and I've got the Fulminators out. And I've done, the basic, base colours. I've done all the scales on the Dracoth. I've done all the blue on the Rider. I've gone back onto the Dracoth and done the silver and all the armour plates so I can then do them blue. And I've gone, right, I am bored. Let's build this tank. And I built the tank. And I'm still working towards getting my stuff from the pile of potential. Or from my... I call it my in tray.
Okay.
Because it's it's literally half. Some of the Forge World boxes, like, are the half boxes that like come apart. So there's a lid with base. Yeah. So I've got one of those, which is what I put all my sprayed models in once I've sprayed them.
Okay.
That's my in tray.
Yeah.
So my goal for this year, for my hobby streak, is to empty my in tray.
Cool.
So the hitch on that is that there are some primed models that I've got that aren't in my in tray and have been put into other boxes because my in tray was full.
Oh. Well, as you empty your in tray, you need to put those in there.
My in tray has expanded to be the in tray, the box that I've got all my sprayed scenery in, which is why I'm working on these, and there's going to be a lot more me painting terrain on the podcast this year. Spoilers.
Because you're trying to get rid of that, yeah.
Because I want to get it done. And
yeah,
terrain is a nice, like, palette cleanser from painting whatever you're painting anyway.
Yes, definitely.
And I've got a really useful box, which has got a load of Stormcast stuff that I've got primed in. That is in my pile of really useful boxes for the painted Stormcast.
Yeah.
So every time I'm finish painting a unit, which I got to do a fair bit while I was locked away and had nothing else to do. So I can go over to that box, pull a unit out of that, stick it on my desk, and go, right, I'm going to work through this. And I've got other stuff that I can pick at if I get bored of painting blue and gold. Let's be honest, most of it's Stormcast.
Yep.
So I think next time I get bored of painting Stormcast, I've got the Warcry Catacombs warbands.
Okay.
So I think they'll be a nice. So I've got both of them. I didn't end up splitting that box with anyone. So I've got both warbands of that to do, and they're both quite different in their like feel and aesthetic.
Okay.
So next time I get bored of painting Stormcast, I've got like
something completely
a whole like
different.
8 or 9, 10 models that are all individual that I can just go nuts on and just try new stuff on, which I'm kind of looking forward to. And I've got like these character models. I've got Anasta Malkarian. I've got the New Year model, Baller and Burke, that I need to wait for it to stop raining so I can get primed. But hey, I live in England and it's
winter,
the middle of February, so good luck with that. But yeah, just don't have to set yourself like a big goal of I want to get a 2,000 point army or
whatever,
whatever like the average game size for your game of choice done.
Well, it's easier to
you never
say.
know. You might be like JG and you might not like playing quote unquote matched play games.
Yeah, no.
You might just be playing for giggles with your family. So it doesn't really matter what size forces you're playing with.
No,
Throwback to our how big games do you play?
No, and again,
episode.
It's easier to have a goal of painting, like a kill team, than it is to say I want a 2,000 point, army. That definitely is. It's a lot easier. But again, like.
The goal, have a usable force, is still the same.
Yeah, but
goal is just scaled up.
I want to paint my Warcry army. Hey, I've painted my Warcry army. I really like those guys. I really like painting them. I really like to play with them. Why don't I extend that to more models so that I can play 700 points? 750 is it the minimum now? Age of Sigmar, and then after that. Keep painting more guys until you get to 1,000 points, 1,500,
like,
2,000, 3,000.
Last couple of episodes of Warhammer Weekly, Vince Venturella's been joking that Uncle Adam's basically a few models short of having painted himself an entire Ossiarch Bone Reaper army.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, hey, Uncle Adam, if you paint this, this, and this, you can come play a big scale game with us. And Uncle Adam's like, no. I want to be over here in my corner, Warcry, where things are small. And I don't have to do that.
And I don't... It's the same thing.
Come to us.
I don't feel like...
Come to the dark side.
I don't feel like ever painting, like ever playing a big scale army. I just don't have time. Like, already, like, my goal this weekend, like, this is not even that far. My goal this weekend is put the Silver Bayonet on the table and play that first scenario. And I'm gonna do the solo scenario, but I am gonna do it with my son, and we're both gonna play on the same side with the same army. We're just gonna split the troops basically, but kind of like this is where I'm at. Like, if I can do this already, I'll be pretty happy. So yeah, it is difficult sometimes to find the time. But again, like, this is why we do this. We take 30 minutes out of our day to just do something and relax and all this. Now, my ultimate goal and I don't know if I should say like this year, but at least for the hobby streak at the moment and until I am gonna be done, is finish the stuff that I printed for Silver Bayonet. I've got a few, well, I got all the armies, so I still got British, Spanish, Austrian, Prussian, and Russian to paint. That's 6. That's, I think, 8 models in each, plus another 2 models that were extra or something like this. I got a whole bunch of monster to paint, which that's gonna be probably in order of what. So what I want to do is go progressive. Like, right now I have a unit, I can play solo game, I can go into playing, like the scenario, and then I can see with my son and play the first scenario. And then once that's done, then I can start planning for the second scenario, which I know has got the Revenants in it, which I still don't have. So when they come out, I'll get those so that I can paint and then do that. I will see how my sons like it, and then I can paint a second army. And I'll let him choose which one he wants me to paint next, depending on the characters and all this in there. So that's probably going to be my next one. And then after that, then we can start playing the campaign, the 2 people campaign. And so yeah, so that's my like goal right now, is to do this. I will paint Marvel in between, because I know I'm going to need something different to paint. And I'm gonna be like, okay, I really need to, like, I want to paint this guy, and I've been postponing painting this guy for so long. I'm doing it now, and I'm gonna stop. And for a week, I'll probably paint a Marvel character, because that's how long it's gonna take me to do. But even with the hobby streak, so I know that like that's the kind of thing that's gonna happen. But so that's kind of.
Can I just point out for the listeners that what JG's done here is he's got his big goal, and he's got all the little steps that he needs to do to get to that big goal.
Yeah.
It is no good setting yourself a big goal if you don't know how you're going to get from where you are to where that is.
Yeah. And like, yeah, you need
to break it down into manageable chunks.
Yeah.
So you can get there.
You need mini goals before your big goals. That's for sure. Like you need
literally.
Yeah.
Mini goals.
Yeah. Mini goals.
So if you've got yourself the goal of, I want to get a 2,000 point army done,
good.
Then you've got to. I mean,
yeah. You've
got to set yourself the goal of right. I need to get my
again, I think it's okay if
my basic required stuff down. So for like Age of Sigmar, if you're doing 2,000 point Age of Sigmar army, your first goal can be, doesn't have to be, but it can be something like get my required 1 leader and 3 battle line choices down, or 40k my 1 HQ 2 troops.
So now,
that's how.
What if you already like? This is the thing. What if you already have your army, and then basically the hobby streak is just like, I need to paint it. I'm using the hobby streak to paint this. So then I think that's okay. Like,
so you go right. I've got all this built.
I just need to paint it. Yeah.
Get the basic troops and the basic required stuff painted. So you do that.
Yeah.
And like maybe you get your HQ, your leader character, whatever done, and go right. Okay, I'm going to treat myself now. I've done that by doing one of the quote unquote fun units. So I finished painting my HQ. I'm going to paint one of my big elite units, or a tank, or a special character, or whatever. That's not like required. Doesn't fit in like the basic requirements, but is one of the cool units that looks fun.
Yeah.
Do that.
Well, yeah, and you can
set yourself your goals.
You can be to also the other way around. Like, I've been painting this big unit for the past, like months or something, because I want to do it super, super high quality. I'm getting tired of it. Just switch to building more models, and switch to, again, we go back to the same thing. Switch to painting something that's gonna be, just.
I spent the entire recording painting big panels with my small airbrush.
Well, because you want to, because you like it, because it takes a long time. It makes you feel like you're doing a lot. This is why I always use big brushes, even if I paint small stuff. I like my brushes. But yeah, so again, find your own goals would be the best way. And if you don't have any, and if you're just starting the hobby streak, just grab whatever you have on your desk. All right, and we're back. So we had a little drop in connection.
It's our patented every week
Skype dropping freaking calls.
Skype
crap.
Connection.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so
we're not getting Zoom, so
yeah, no.
I refuse to install Zoom on my computer now.
Well, the problem with Zoom is that it'll work for 40 minutes and then I'll stop, and then we won't be able to.
Also that.
Which, considering we are at, well,
an hour and a half?
Yeah, something like that. I'm on that hour on my phone, but I know that I disconnected at some point, so. Well, not disconnected, just stopped and started again pretty quickly, so it should be fine, but again, yeah, so we were saying, it have some goals, see what you want to do. If you like to paint. If you like to play and you don't really like to paint, but, well, use that time to do the stuff you don't like. Try to do speed painting. It doesn't matter, like, even if you spend,
I am of the opinion that painted, no matter how poorly, is better than unpainted.
Definitely. Always.
Just
well,
get some paint on it, get it on the table. It will look better than grey
plastic. I like painting, so it doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, and again, like you can be like me, where
I like painting now. I didn't like painting when I started.
Well, yeah.
I've Stockholm syndromed my way into enjoying painting.
I'm not a big fan of. I started getting into the hobby and being like, okay, I'm gonna play and all this when basically a year before COVID hit. So yeah, I didn't get much chance to enjoy the the gaming side of it, and also because I am in a very small town, which the only thing they play here is 40k. And if you follow the podcast for any amount of time, you know that 40k and GW in general is not my cup of tea. So yeah, it's been hard to find like reason to go into hobby store and play. And because I am a dad and I have a family, and that's also makes it super hard. And a lot of people are gonna be like, the hobby streak might be difficult for you because of things like this. Like, what do you do? How do you manage? Sometimes you would think that weekends is when you're gonna have the most time to paint and do all this. Yeah, not necessarily. Like, because of all the duties of like, you have a family and all this, and you need to do this and you need to do that. Sometimes, yeah, it just does not work. So yeah, again, like, enjoy the hobby, enjoy, just find time, and yeah, it's it's a process, and if you have small goals, and don't be like I was at the beginning, where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get all this and I'm gonna paint it and blah, blah. And this is why, like I said, I've put a stop to getting the monthly things for Marvel, because I cannot keep up, and I will never keep up, and I will never catch up. And so I'm like, yeah, there's no point in continuing. But like I said, I will pick up the odd thing once in a while, and I'll continue. I want to finish like what I'm doing right now, which is all the silver bayonet, and I think that's more manageable. Yes, they are probably gonna do like they do for Frostgrave, and come up with the extension and things like this for the silver bayonet, I'm guessing.
Yep.
And there's gonna be new books and new monsters and things like this, because that's what he's been doing. But again, like, Frostgrave, I still only have the first one, and I do not intend to get any other until I can actually put the first one on the table, which I have almost enough. As far as troops is concerned, I think I'm missing a couple of wizards if I really want to do it, and I have a couple of choices. But yeah, now the other big things that I have is my secret project, which, well, it's secret only what I'm actually doing, but everybody knows I'm doing a game if you followed the previous podcast.
Or listened to the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Well, did I say I was making a game at the beginning of the show? I don't think I don't know if I said, but anyway, so yeah. That's kind of like what I'm doing, and like I said, I want to find, well, I found some models. I want to keep, like, I want to paint those, and I want to make sure that I playtest and that I have everything done. And I'm expecting the process to take, if it takes me less than a year, I would be surprised. Now, I need to get my wife on board, because I need her to actually draw things. I want her to see if she can draw me some the picture, not the pictures, not the animation, the freaking illustration. Thank you. So I want to see if, like, yeah, if that's something that she, like, and she doesn't have a lot of time as well, but I would like that. I would like that would be something that I would like her to see if she can do. It's not really the style that she does. Like, she doesn't do really illustration. She does more like actual paintings and things like this. So I don't know if that would be a welcoming challenge for her, or not something she would enjoy at all. which also, is not good if you're asking someone to do something they don't really enjoy. That's gonna be difficult. So there's all these things are. I want to make sure that I have something, and I'll keep working on it. And like I said, I spend hours already on it, and I like where it's going, and I like what I'm doing, and I'm really enjoying the process. So that's also something. If you find something, and I know that if you go on the Twitter and you look at hobbystreak, some people are doing a lot of like RPG stuff. And like if you're DM and you spend like 2 hours building the next, not necessarily campaign, but the next, encounter that your group is gonna get, that weekend, man, that takes a lot of time, and some people really enjoy this, and so yeah, go for it. Like, this is definitely it's something also. Like, if you that's a plan as well. It's like, oh, I need to make sure that I have this scenario or this encounter planned for our next D&D game. And so yeah, it's I think that's quite important as well. That's kind of other plan that you can have. It doesn't have to be, only mini related and all this, but you can definitely do RPG. You can do list building. Some people enjoy list building, which I still don't get it, but some people do. So yeah, it's the same thing. If you're doing all this, just enjoy it, and it's definitely in the right direction. As long as you have, what you're gonna do and why you're doing it, then yeah, enjoy it. All right, what do you have for us as far as news, Mister? Unless you have more to add.
We'll do the news.
The news. News.
So we got some big news
from
today. So I've got 3 bits on my news.
Okay.
That
are huge.
So, well, big-ish. So there's the thing that everybody was complaining about on social medias the other day, that Games Workshop are putting some of their prices up.
Yep.
By varying amounts.
Yep. Roughly 20%, is it?
5 to 20%, depending on what it is.
Welcome to the world.
Capitalism is a thing. Inflation's a thing.
COVID is a thing.
Get over it. It's an expensive hobby anyway. They need to keep their lights on and pay the bills and not go broke.
All right, and trust me, like I'm in logistics.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, the pricing is just fucking ridiculous. Still, and
this is part of my goal for this year is to get my backlog done, and hey, the price of random stuff going up is gonna help me do that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a shame, but again, it's what I mean. Who doesn't see the pricing have gone up on everything? Like, you go into a store and you look at stuff that you used to buy, and like, whether it be food or fuel or whatever, like literally you can take any commodity. I don't think there is one commodity that's gone down in price. Like it just does not happen. Like it's just crazy. It's just been crazy. Most of it is due to, again, COVID, and most of it for just because of price of transit, aircraft and things like this, and most of it is fuel.
The stuff that is going up a lot from Workshop is the stuff that they don't produce in-house in Nottingham.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you have to import. Taxes have gone up. Brexit is a thing in the UK as well. That's threw a freaking wrench in the cog like crazy. It's just nuts. And the price of fuel has increased a lot on aircraft. And for those who don't know, when you book a flight, cargo flight, you get a price per kg, per kilogram. 1 kilogram, you're gonna pay $2 maybe for a kilo, depending on destination, up to $12-$20. So wide range depending on where you're going in the world and from where. And then you get fuel, and the fuel went up. When I started working for the company I work for, fuel was at 25 cents, I believe, and that was 3 years ago. Fuel is now at 66 cents per kg. So yeah, it freaking doubled in 4 years, and most of it was like in the past 2 years. As in, it had not moved that much. Like, it was increasing maybe 2 cents, and now it's increasing every 6 months by almost 10 cents. It's freaking nuts, and it'll keep going up. And this is what everybody else is paying. It's the fuel and the price of, like, that's what. And so yeah, it'll keep going up. It doesn't matter. So yeah. Sorry.
The fun thing about that was, like, after this announced, the Games Workshop web store crashed from high demand.
Because everybody was trying to buy before the price went up.
Yep.
FOMO.
And then
FOMO again.
Yeah. A few days later, we've got piece of news number 2. Range rotation is coming to Warhammer 40,000.
Okay.
What this means to you. So let's...
Because I have no... What do you mean range rotation?
So, just to read the Warhammer community article
briefly. The
Warhammer 40,000 range is huge. Like, really huge. Just as you might expect from a game with such a grand setting. In fact, it's so big that we just can't keep everything in stock all the time. Which means certain units will become part of a rotating range. So, there are... some kits that are...
I see. I understand now. Okay.
They're just gonna put the molds in a box somewhere for a bit.
Damn.
So
okay.
it's some random Space Marine stuff mostly. So Imperial Fist Captain Lysander, Blind Angel's brother Corbulo, Flesh Terror's shoulder pads, Dark Angel's Company Master, Blood Angel's Captain Internal.
So are they saying which one they're gonna get rid of?
Et Yep, there's a full list.
So are they getting rid of them, or are they just out for now, and then they come back in 6 months? Then you can order.
These miniatures will be rotated out on the 27th of February. And like they've got at the top of the article, what's a rotating range? So apparently the Middle-earth strategy battle game has a rotating range.
Okay.
So they rotate stuff out of production for a period, and then they come back later.
Okay.
And everything that goes out remains match play legal. So.
Oh, so you can still use it. You just cannot buy it anymore.
Yeah.
We'll
always give you a heads up before any models are rotated. I always have.
But are they rotated back in after or not? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Stuff goes in, stuff comes out.
Yeah. So so that they can they can reduce their production. They don't have to produce as much, and they don't get.
They don't have to produce everything all the time.
And they don't have to keep a stock of stuff and all this. So yeah, it's a smart play. I guess that went very well with the community. Sarcastic.
So the web store crashed again.
Oh, fuck, yeah. No, yeah. Well, yeah, makes sense.
I also don't pay enough attention to 40k Twitter to see how much everybody shouted and screamed about that. So,
but I'm sure
if people shouted and screamed about it, then it happened.
Well, yeah,
if they didn't, then it didn't. So, but
I'm sure they did. Instead of
miniatures wargaming, so I'm guessing people shouted and screamed about it.
Yeah, instead of being like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, and like this at least they're not gonna get rid of them completely. People don't see the other side, and they just go, rubber, 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 rubber.
I can't buy this model anymore.
Rubber, 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 rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in happy news...
Oh, hey, here we go.
They announced the second iteration of the Warhammer Age of Sigmar part work today.
Okay.
So I got home from work, booted my laptop out to start doing all the stuff for the show, and I saw, Warhammer Stormbringer has been officially announced.
Okay.
So Warhammer,
cool.
Warhammer Stormbringer is the next part work from Hatchet Publishing and Games Workshop.
Okay.
So I think we're about 10, maybe 15 issues into the second 40k part work.
Yeah.
Imperium. So we have, got all the Stormbringer stuff. That's the wrong thing. I just want to make JG smaller so I can see stuff. So we've got we've got the picture of the full collection,
Alright.
from which people with beadier eyes than me have got a full list of all the contents for. So I've got the website on the show notes.
Okay.
So
I need to open.
your first dish.
I need to
Oh,
open.
you can if you want.
I'm
So
fighting
they've
with
got
my... Let me just finish.
picture of the full collection.
There we go. Alright, well,
Is-
that's one done, except for the base, but... Which one? Last one?
Oh.
No, pressing. Range rotation.
First one.
The first one. Full hammer? No.
Nope. Above that.
Stormbringer. That the one?
That's the one.
Stormbringer. Oh, is that the big freaking thing? The picture that you put, or no?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
So the big picture of the whole. That's the full collection.
That's a
So
lot.
that is.
That's a lot of freaking model.
So eagle-eyed people will notice that it is not solely Stormcast and not solely
There's a tree.
Crawl Boys. There are other models available.
There's
There's a small core faction on each side, and there's reinforcements from other factions, kind of like the Imperium magazine, which is Space Marines versus Necrons, and the Space Marines. There are some Sisters of Battle and Adeptus Mechanicus forces in there that are like allied reinforcing detachments. So, yeah, you can scroll across there and see somebody in Warhammer World pretending to play some Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, so she's funny. Oh, there's some dragons. There's a new dragons.
Yeah, those are the Stormdrake Guard dragons. Yes.
There's the stuff that you painted the terrain with the ball on it.
Yep.
There is a lot of... Oh, there's the little doggy bird thingies. There's a big skull with horns on it. That's a piece of terrain, I'm guessing. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to go through the full list of stuff very quickly in a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see the
down.
I see the list. Go for it.
Run down the page. So your subscriber benefits. You've got the modelling kit, which is some clippers, some glue, and a mould line remover. You're getting binders and dividers to put all the magazines in. You're getting a paintbrush set, which from the picture looks like the STC synthetic paintbrushes. You're getting a large base brush, large dry brush, and a medium shade brush.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that there will be basic paintbrushes in the actual magazines rather than the subscribers bonuses. There's a heat changing mug.
Nice.
That's got some artwork on it. And the last free gift is one of the Citadel paint rack honeycomb hexagon stand-uppy plasticky things.
Okay.
So we've got the contents for the first 4 issues. In the first issue, you're getting a Knight Arcanum and a killer boss with Stab Grot, a battle mat, and some dice. So that's 2 heroes from the Dominion box.
Okay, yep.
Second issue, you're getting 10 Gut Rippers for the Crawl Boys. Third issue, you're getting 5 Vindictors for the Stormcast.
Is that the one with the big crossbow, the Gut Rippers?
Gut Rippers are the Stabby Boys.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense, yeah. So it's...
Issue 4, you're getting a starter brush and 4 paints.
Okay, cool.
We've got the premium subscription stuff, but only kind of.
Okay.
So when Mortal Realms came out, we had like a full picture of each of the 4 premium kits.
Mm-hmm.
But for this one, we've got a picture of one model from each of the premium kits.
Okay.
So the first premium kit is Indrasta, the Celestial Spear, aka Tall Stormcast Lady, plus more. So I'm guessing that was going to at least be the sprue from Dominion that Indrasta comes on, which also has guy with big flag and 3 guys with big hammers and shields. The other one's a Crawl Boys Killer Boss on... I can't remember the name of the mount, but it's a mounted guy.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that will also be the rest of the sprue that he's on. And maybe some other stuff.
Yeah, because that's easier. That's the easiest way for them to do it, yeah.
It just... Because otherwise they're clipping stuff off of sprues.
Yeah, which, no, they won't.
To stick it in the magazine, which is dumb.
Which would be stupid, yes, definitely, yeah.
The third premium kit looks to be a Caradron Overlords one. So that's your Steampunk Sky Dwarfs. So that's got one of the Steampunk Sky Boats for the Dwarfs.
Okay.
Plus more. And premium 4 is a Dankhold Troggoth. So it's a big troll with mushrooms growing off his back.
Cool.
For the Gloomspike Gits
nice.
Expansion for the destruction side of the magazine. So overall, the stuff that you've got in the magazine is actually pretty good.
Everything that you have?
I mean, I've got all of it anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, are you gonna get it, or because like you have everything?
For this one, I will pick up certain issues. So I don't have everything in the kit, in the subscription. And there are some things in the subscription that I've already got that I would quite like to get some more of, and getting it for the cost of the magazine rather than the box price would be nice.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah. Oh, no, for sure, yeah. So you don't have to get all of it.
No.
I thought you had like
at least in the UK, you can order individual issues from Hachette, the publisher.
Yeah.
You can pre-order some issues in advance from ForbiddenPlanet.com. And they've got a slight markdown on that as well. So you can get it for even cheaper from them.
Cool.
So just to run through really quickly. The order side is mostly Stormcast. So you've got Bastion Carthalos, which is the big guy with the big hammer.
Yes. Awesome.
You've got Guard of Steel Soul, which
How much is it? How much is Bastion?
Bastion on his own is some dineros.
Yeah, it's like I was wondering because it's one of those characters that
£26.50. So if I go delivering to US,
not bad.
Look at the US web star. He is $40 US.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, like, yeah.
So these are generally £8 an issue.
Okay. So for £8 you will get a Bastion?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Sorry. That's nice. Okay, can you get me one?
So,
dude.
Yeah.
I'll take a Bastion. It's one of those that I really would like to paint, so.
So, Bastion Carthalos. Lord Celestant Guard of Steel Soul, which is the guy during the superhero landing that came out. He came out the beginning of last year. You've got the Knight Arcanum, which is the wizard that I painted a few weeks ago, a few episodes ago. The Knight Judicator with 2 Gryph-hounds, which I painted last week. A Lord Aquila, which is one of the only quote-unquote old models in the Stormcast side.
Okay.
The Lord Imperator and Gryph-hound, who's from the Dominion box. 5 Vindictors from the Dominion box. But you get 10 in Dominion, so they're just giving you one sprue for some reason.
Because you have
3 Praetors.
You have two of the same sprues, right?
Yeah.
The Dominion box, yeah.
3 Praetors from Dominion. 5 Vigilers, which are another new kit. They're the guys with the bows that I've got sprayed. 5 Vanquishers, new guys with swords. Xandai's Truth Seekers, which is the new Underworld warband. The Stormstrike Chariot, which is new. 2 Stormgreat Guard, so that's a box of Stormgreat Guard, which are new. And 6 Gryph-hounds, which are old. So there are 2 kits in the Stormcast side, which haven't come out in the last 8 months.
Damn. So yeah, that's really
all new stuff.
That's really worth it. And again, like we go back to what we were saying, like that's a good way of doing it. And I remember that you were doing when you were getting the magazine it was like, okay, let me try to get the whatever.
Basically 2 starter armies. It's 2 starter armies, so I can teach people the game.
And then also like, oh, let me try to get this done before I get the next subscription. Yeah. And that's kind of like, that's easier to do than the Marvel, in my opinion, because you know exactly what's coming and when. The Marvel can be nothing for 2 months and then you get dropped 4 boxes. Because all of a sudden their shipment arrived.
There's other stuff. There's other stuff on the order side. So there's 2 allied forces. So you've got Caradron Overlords. So you've got an Engine Master in Dirigible Suit, 5 Grunstock Thunderers, and the Thundrix Profiteers Underworld Warband. You've got the Sylvaneth, the Tree People. So you've got the Spirit of Durthu, or a Tree Lord Ancient, or a Tree Lord. So it's a kit, a multi-kit. So you just build it one of 3 ways. 2 lots of 5 Tree Revenants or Spite Revenants. And Ilthuri's Guardians, which is the Sylvaneth Underworld Warband. So that looks like it's going to be a sizable force in terms of points.
Yeah, so that was my next question. Is how much point is it supposed to?
I haven't worked out the points.
No. Like I thought maybe someone would have already cracked it open and be like, "Oh, it is going to be that many points and blah blah blah." Probably. More importantly, because all of these kits are from Dominion onwards, for the most part, they're all actually minimum size units at the least. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
So unlike the Mortal Realms magazine, where I've got units that are under strength, this will all be at least minimum size units.
Okay.
So for the magazines, they tend to do a magazine exclusive model.
Okay. What?
And this is on the next page.
Is that? But is this one a must subscribe or not?
For this model?
Because usually, like sometimes
you can just buy the model. Just buy that one issue.
Okay, yeah. Because sometimes they do a thing and they say, "Hey, yeah, we're." Oh, is that guy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's
this guy.
Yeah, that's not bad. Like it, yep. I saw.
The thing with him is he looks like he's a Praetor. Praetors come in multiples of 3s for a minimum size unit.
Okay.
So this guy is probably going to be a swap a model out guy.
Oh yeah, okay.
So that you don't have an under or differently sized unit. So.
Okay. Anyway. Cool.
So he looks neat. I don't know if I'll pick up him individually. I might probably anyway, just cause. But the exclusive issues are generally tend to go quite quickly.
Oh yeah,
because people go, oh, that's an exclusive mini FOMO.
FOMO.
The orc side, the destruction side, is mostly crawl boys. So that is all the new stuff.
Okay, cool.
So Swamp Caller, Shaman, and Pot Grot, Killer Boss and Stab Grot, multi-choice kit between the Swamp Boss Scumdrek or a Snatch Boss on Stoddraker Beast, 10 Gut Rippers, 20 Hobgrots, unit of Manskewer Bolt Boys, a Marshcaller Sloggoth, some Beast Skewer Killbows.
So those are the one with the crossbow, right? The skewer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Manskewers are the small crossbows, and the Beast Skewers are like the
giant,
Mana Ballista.
The giant crossbow things, yeah.
The Cunning Crew, which is the Underworld's Warband. You've got a Gloomspite Gitz allied faction. So you've got Skagrat the Loon King, which is a special character.
Mm-hmm.
Fungoid Cave Shaman, 20 Stabador Shooters, 1 Squig Herd, which is 10 Squigs and 2 Herders, 10 Squig Hoppers, 6 Sneaky Snufflers, Molog's Mob, which is the Troll Underworld's Warband, and Zarbog's Gitz, which is the Squigs and Gitz Underworld's Warband, and 5 Fanatics. And then you've got some Iron Jaws, which are the bigger orcs, War Chanter, Mega Boss, 5 Hard Boys, and Iron Skull's Boys, which is the Underworld's Warband, and randomly a Man-Eater Gargant.
Okay.
Which is about that big.
Okay.
Which also means that you can go back to the order side and add Johan onto that. So, because the Gargant comes with a frightened peasant to run away from him.
Nice.
And yeah, nice selection of terrain. So you've got the Realmscape expansion scenery and I think somebody in my club's Discord mentioned that it's the Beastgrave terrain specifically. So it's last season of Underworld, but the terrain is like it's this stuff that I've been painting up.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you've got the Nexus Siphon, you've got at least one of these idols, and it looks like 3 domicile shells, which I haven't painted yet, and the Siphon, which is the big thing that I've been painting.
Nice.
In previous episodes, which looks like a whole load of stuff.
Well, yeah.
So,
so how long? 1 year?
I heard.
Is it 1 year?
It's going to be
Or more?
Well, I can't say for certain because
that looks like a lot.
At the moment, they're only doing. At the moment, they're doing a test run.
Okay.
So it's only going to be in limited locations in the UK to start with, and then like 3 or 4 months later, they'll go nationwide and launch the full subscription.
Cool.
So I'm not going to go for the full subscription because I don't need repeats of everything for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll get a couple of individual issues here and there.
Listen to that, kids. You do not need to buy everything.
No. Especially because I'm trying to get my pile
down, not up.
Not up. But like I said when I started talking about this, there are some things in there that it would be nice to have
double off, yeah,
for very cheap.
Well, yeah.
For multiple. So I'm probably going to get the dragons because I would like more dragons for cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Get a bastion, send that across the pond.
Well, that's the thing. Is like it'll probably be more than if I buy it from the GW store with the shipping and everything. But yeah,
get the Underworld's Warband because
they're cool.
At the moment, that Underworld's Warband is only available in the starter set.
Yeah,
I don't want the starter set,
and you can
the boards and the cards.
You can
and
use
the
them in.
the
You can use them in.
You can use them in Age of Sigmar.
Yep.
You can use them in regular Age of Sigmar.
And in Warcry now, right?
Yeah.
They just released
of,
the whole thing, yeah.
All the rules for all the Warcry warband for the Underworld's warbands in Warcry.
So pretty cool.
So big thumbs. It's all coming up, Liam.
All right, this is gonna take forever to dry.
Cool. Right, I am done talking.
All right, my turn to talk. What did I want to talk about? Well, so the silver bayonet. Whoa, what a surprise! No, so wave 3 is coming, and like I was saying, so I'm waiting for the Revenant, because that's scenario 2. So you need the Revenant. So, and I really want to see what they've done with it, because I think that it's one of those things that I would do the conversion, but I don't want to. So definitely, like, this is something that I'm looking forward to. The bandits. So I mean, I already have those guys, which are the Spanish guerrilla. They are selling them as kind of like a bandit replacement for now, if you want. But I want to see what they come up with. Living Scarecrow is part of the thing. I think I have a really cool model of a Living Scarecrow. So I will see again what it looks like, but like, I think it looks awesome. With the, he's got the, like, his cross in a way. Like, yeah. So I thought it looked pretty cool. I'm really happy about that one. So I don't know if I'll pick the other one up. The goblins, which we've seen already, and the vampires, which we've seen already. Vampires are 2 vampires that are Victorian style with the wigs and everything. I think they look pretty cool. And the goblins are really cool because they're like tiny and they just look nice. So yeah, Wave 3 pre-order, waiting on the newsletter to drop with that in it. I was like, they were talking about February 20 something for release, and so I'm surprised that we still don't have that pre-order, but they might be delayed a little bit. So we'll see. Now, there is a Kickstarter that just started, which is Clash of Spear, Clash of Katana. So from the people that did Clash of Spears, which has a whole collection. I mean, I looked into it, and because I really like the Clash of Katana because I'm like Japanese fighting, but they did, you know, like Roman and a lot of different period in history, and so pretty cool. I do not know the rules. I have not checked the rule yet, but it looks like rank and flank, which is not my cup of tea, but again, really nice models, and it looks like a pretty good one. So Kickstarter just started. Check it out. Frostgrave, so new expansion, which is Blood Legacy, is out, and North Star just came out with the minis, and there is some weird freaking thing. The one that I find really weird is the leash wolves, because they're basically wolves with the big head of a leash, and they just look weird as hell.
Yeah, that's odd looking.
They look fucking scary.
I do like the guy in the top right though. Looks kind of cool.
That's probably, so there's noble vampire, ancient vampires. There's some giant bloods. Which might be, oh no, that's the one. 2 giant bloods, so he's a giant blood. And then, yeah, the vampires are down. Like, you got some, so some vampires and everything. So, again, extension for Frostgrave, some really nice monsters done by North Star military figures. So, I really like their stuff. I mean, yeah, I thought those were some cool minis. You can use them for other, definitely for some other rules and games. Now, Spin Paint, we talked a little bit about it. Apparently, it's shipping 19th of February, so in a few days. By the time you watch this, probably they'll be out. Or about to get out. So, yeah, Spin Paint, 19th February, looks like they're shipping everywhere. So, yeah, you can already pre-order them on North Star military figure, but I'm sure on other website as well.
Like, loads of places will stock army paint and stuff, so you'll be able to get it from pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of your friendly local game store that will carry those.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the hot new thing.
Go to your gaming store. Ask them if they'll pre-order it or order some in, and
yeah, to be honest,
they'll
like
probably will.
as I'm getting down to like paints, that once I'm gonna get those pretty much my contrast paint down to a level that I need to replace, I will probably start using speed paints just because they're cheaper, and I'm a cheap bastard, so that's all.
Yeah.
Now, Reaper minis, which are known for, well, they're minis, which used to not be such good quality, but cheap, and I mean, you could find a lot of monsters and a lot of things, and they still have a huge range, and they do a Kickstarter every year where you get for
the Reaper Bone stuff.
Oh shit, yeah, where you get like what 350 models for $100. Like that's something like something freaking nuts like this. So well, they are doing Base Boss 2, which is they're toppers. So their own base has a kind of a lip to it, and their topper fits in there so that it just does not move. So you just pluck it in there. They've got Sci-Fi and Scorch Earth, I think they call it, the other one. So yeah, some nice things. I would rather they do a how do you call it? The STL. So you could grab those as STLs, but yeah, there's some nice stuff. Again, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry. You can get one set for $5.
Not bad.
And one set is like 10, 25 mil base, or 5, 60 mil, or whatever. So there's a whole bunch of like different things, and you can basically get you can get this saying like you pledge for $5, and then you decide what you want. Like, yeah. Why is it not letting me go to the frigging thing? Oh, there we go. So yeah, like, let's see where I can look at. So yeah, you pledge $5 or more. Basically, what you do is you decide to what do you want, like which one you want, and then you just go and be like, okay, so I'm gonna pledge $20 because I want 4 sets. Like this is kind of so round 60 mil insert 10 for 5, 32 mil insert 30 for 5, 50 mil insert 12 for $5, round 60 millimeter 5, 6 by 35 oval 17, 8 for 75 by 46, 92 by 52 6, round 25 mil insert 30 for $5. That's pretty good. That's like, yeah, so that's 6 for $1. That's really nice. Like they're really cheap. Like 28 millimeter insert, same thing, quantity 30, and then 40 millimeter quantity 15. And then you got the same if you want the lowland, what they call lowland, or if you want the sci-fi. So yeah. So all in all, not bad. And like it looks like it's their new plastic too. The like the bone black.
We like plastic.
Huh?
Plastic's good.
Yeah, no, it looks like I don't they're definitely like when you look at them they look like the minis. They don't look like resin. They're not resin. They're literally like they're black bone plastic things. So I have not read, so I think I need to double check on that. But again, yeah, it's looks pretty good. If that's something you want to do, I have not like this. I would rather have the STL, so I'm definitely not gonna back this. But yeah, it's again $5, not much. The shipping is probably gonna cost you more than the freaking thing. So yeah, again. Now there's still 12 days left to go on 3D printable basing bits, which I talked about last week. He's unlocked a whole bunch of other stuff. Do you remember looking at it? All the little, yeah. So animal skulls, corn, like the stretch goal that he unlocked. Animal skulls, corn plants, chic wreckage, maggots, flowers, broken pottery, lily pads, broken weapon, fruit and veggies, canopy jars, flower pot, fire, prickly pear cacti. The next two that are bugs and cute lizards. So yeah, he's raised like, I don't know, 3,000% of what he was supposed to on it. So it's just, yeah, it worked really great, and yeah, I've backed it, and I'm looking forward to printing those bits. And again, like I asked the guy, because I wanted to make sure that there is not just the supported version. He said no, they will come with supported and unsupported, so you can do my little trick, which I made a video for. One of those corners, I'll probably, if I think about it, put the stuff, but how to take a base, a 3D base, and then just put the stuff on it. And then when you're done, you print that. And you don't have any glue, and they're fused to the thing, and they're not gonna fall off and do all this crap. So, yeah, and you don't have to get your fingers full of glues and all that stuff, because I freaking hate super glue. So, yeah, so check it out. I'll put the link again, but yeah, a few more people would be nice. I would really like the little lizards, so chop. 495 backers right now. I'm not getting any cut from this. I wish. But yeah, so yeah, and you get like literally you get everything. I mean, you can pledge for like £150, but then you get the dealer pledge, and that means that you can sell the physical prints from the Kickstarter. So yeah. So that's definitely something. If you want to make bases, like I would do the 150. Like if you have a printer, you want to print, and you're actually selling stuff, good to do it. Like get the bits, put the bits on bases, and just sell those. People will like them. Like I think there's really truly like so many possibility of hundreds of thousands of freaking combination you can do. So yeah, it's fun. Looking forward to getting that. I might just do a few more. Those guys. Clue markers. So I probably will try to do more of those if I get once I get this. And yeah, that's my news.
Yay!
How's your turn looking?
Yeah, they now mostly match.
Cool.
Ta-da! So I need to do another coat on the silvers that I put down today.
Okay.
And do a wash on the stonework or the wall that it stood on, and then they will match. And then I just need to wash all the gold and the silver.
How many more
dry brush?
How many more pieces of terrain you have to do?
I've got another 2 of those.
Okay, cool.
And another, I think it's 4 or 5 full building shells. So it's going to be a while, but
yeah. So you're still got
the thing with the building shells though is the building shells are mostly going to be wash and dry brush, and then they're done for like 4 or 5 details.
Mm-hmm.
So It shouldn't take me too long. It'll be fine. Honest, it'll be fine. It's fine.
So
All
happy?
fine here.
So happy with
All
what
fine.
you've done with your tiny brush?
Yeah. Yeah. I ended up doing details anyway, so it's just putting base layers on.
Yeah.
Just happen to be tiny base layers.
Well, I am literally finalizing my troll as we speak because I'm actually finishing the base. Yeah.
Is it snowing?
Shut up, it actually might be snowing. No, I don't think so. It's been too warm. This is the thing. Yeah, it's 7 outside, that's why. Right now it's the opposite, like instead of being snowing, it's like, is it actually sunny? And, well, it's always sunny here, but is it actually not snowing outside? Yeah. But, yeah, here we go, look. See, flock and everything. I'm gonna put a little couple of tufts, and it is done. Or she is. Well, no. Yeah. It looks like doesn't have. I don't know.
It's a troll.
Yeah, I don't know troll anatomy, but. And yeah, I still will need to do the rim in black. But other than that, he's done. So yeah, I went from...
Good job.
Yeah, so I went from kind of the same... Like, this troll... Well, this ogre, I went very pinkish looking. You've seen the picture. So that's kind of the tone I went with this one. This one I went more like a rock troll kind of thing, where it's more gray-ish. Gray skin and everything with like blue... very, very blue very blue eyes, very, very blue, like shiny blue, and yeah, pretty happy how it turned out. And again, like done in a couple of hours, I'm pretty happy. I'll try to keep hammering those down as.
It's always nice when something turns out really well and you get done in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and again, like those are enemies. I'm not gonna spend. Tens of hours on those, but honestly, like they are highlighted, they are layered, I still did glazing on them and everything, so yeah, it's not a botched paint job, far from it, and so I'm really happy. So yeah.
Cool.
And here we go, little tough. And I am gonna put another one, which is usually the swamp one, and he's gonna be done. Well, again, no, except for the rim, but the rim is always
done like the episode.
Yeah. Well, again,
so
everybody, thank you for staying with us for another 2 hours. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your family.
Follow us on Twitter. Join the Discord.
Yada yada yada. Everything.
Give us episode ideas.
Yeah, please go on the Discord. Give us suggestions for episode, or on Twitter or anywhere.
Just throw ideas.
Or look, there is the hobbystreaker at gmail.com or something like this for actual email. Please do not hesitate to use that. If you do not want to leave comments, or if you're shy or whatever,
DM us.
So yeah, please do that. Send us comments and let us know, what you want us to talk about. It could be hobby streak related, which is the main topic of this podcast, technically. But if you have anything that you want us to talk about, just hobby related in general, feel free to do that. Again, thanks a lot for the following and all this. We'll try to make some other videos as well, not just the podcast. I know that I should
probably get the painting video that I said I was doing.
Yeah.
3 episodes ago.
Well, like we we will do some more videos, but mostly the podcast is gonna be what we're gonna do. Hopefully, we'll see. I might just for people doing I might ask for feedback on the game and everything, and so see if some stuff and well, definitely you know that you're it for playtesting, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just throw it at my club and go,
Here, playtest, go for it, enjoy. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, I'm not expecting to have anything ready within the next year, but probably for playtesting, I'm hoping to have something that I can. Well, I want to start doing some stuff this weekend, just some, not scenarios, but hey, what if there's a guy here and a guy here?
basic gameplay loop stuff.
Yeah. And then like how it looks like turn order and things like this. So
yeah.
And look at this. It's got a rim in black. It is completely done. But
there we go.
Look at this. All right, perfect. A full
dragging the episode out so you could get your troll finished.
Alright, well, I am really happy about this troll. And again, thank you everybody. Thank you, Liam.
I'm Liam. This is JG.
Bye everybody.
Peace. See you later.
And don't forget to keep hobbying. Bye.